Chiron is known as the rainbow bridge. And what is it connecting? Like, so we think about bridges. Bridges are connecting something. And so it's connecting the outer part of ourselves with the inner part of ourselves, the personal with the interpersonal. Now, and if we're going, so emotionally, just think about that, like, in terms of like all of those relationships that you have, right? So a lot of things that, and then this is some of the things that I know I've done where, when a relationship is not working, we like snip, 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 right? Infinity is like, we're easy to cut the cord and be like, well, I am spiritually, and the way I always said, you are not in resonance. And so in understanding what is happening, however, is that, we have to deal with the outer. Okay. So all of the outer relationships that, it's the same thing that you would do if you're not going inside. If you're not going inside and meditating and getting to know your inner self, then, that you're not going to be connected. So, but if you are also now, because you're trying to go inside, trying to reject the outside, same deal is going to happen. And here's your shadow again. So for all of the, hey, I'm spiritual and I'm going to go in, you have to still be interacting with the out. And because this is where the experiences are coming from, so that you understand the energies and how they are interacting with you. There is no, like Infinity said this week to me, was like, there is no not dealing with a relationship. It's gonna keep showing up. A lot of times what will happen, even if you had a marriage, a love relationship, and you broke up, and now you are no longer in that relationship with the person, and you thinking, okay, that relationship is over. But then this person was named Tom. The relationship with Tom is done. You were heartbroken. Now you think, oh, I'm over Tom. I met John, and John is great and wonderful. And then now, a few months later, only to find out it's Tom again with a different name. How many relationships have you gotten that's that way? And where it's the same person coming in different uniform, in different names, in different shapes, sizes, places, but same personalities. So it will come back. The energy will come back in a different form, even if it's not in person, in things, in places, in whatever. And so in understanding what is happening is that we're dealing with energies. We're not necessarily just dealing with human beings only, even though so the energy is still going to be interacting with you because you're here. So very important to start to understand this as the shadows get created. And so in the inner and outer relationship that you have. So you cannot be that, you can to a certain extent, because one of the things I have realized, part of my spirituality is that I am definitely a hermit, and I like being by myself and not being near people. But I also love being in relationships, especially with groups. I mean, as you guys know, secret energy, groups are like my thing, but also in understanding how it is that the dynamic of the relationships are still going to create shadows. They're still going to create shadows, and the shadows are going to show up, and the longer, this is the thing with the shadows, the longer you ignore them, the bigger they become. That's when they come out of control. And it's not, and I keep saying they, like there's something else, that they're not you, they are you. This is the energy just shows up in so many different ways, And so in understanding the outer and inner relationships are interacting the same way as the yin and yang is interacting. Okay. So this is the part that we're understanding, like connecting the animal with the divine. So it's not that the animal is base, or the animal is evil, or the animal is something that we're just going to reject and totally throw away. The animal is part of who we are. And it has to be a total acceptance of the meat eating, right? The killer, the narcissist, the murderer. And yes, I'm saying all of them, the rapists, the child molesters, it's hard to recognize, and I'm sure I might get some flack for it, but this is actually what has to happen. even if it's writing the letter. Right? I mean, it's like where we're writing our journal. If it's like, okay, if I can't interact with the person, I definitely can interact with the person, because you know what happens sometimes when you are ready for the work doesn't necessarily mean that the other person is ready for the work. So however it is that you can do this work, journal it, sing it, dance it. I loved Rukia's dancing and stuff like that. Vlog it, right? Well, however it is that you're letting it out, scream it out, shout it out, cry it out, whatever it is that's going to cleanse the soul, so that it's not, because one of the things that's happening with the shadow, it is attaching us more to this part of us versus where we need to release everything. Right? If you're attaching yourself to one personality versus the other, then, how do you call it? Infinity says podcast it. Hey, no, they just a part of ourselves that forget that how to just be. No, it's actually, I'm not even going to say that. This is a part of ourselves that is acting the way it is supposed to act. It is not the part of ourselves that is evil is supposed to be evil. That less seriously, the part of ourselves that's masochistic, that's evil, that hates everything, that's venomous, it is supposed to be that way. It's not wrong. It is that is our nature. This is who we are. And that's why I was saying, like, it's hard to actually accept this, because we're looking for the, and especially in a lot of the things, it's basically saying we are fighting with this thing. We are at war with it. And it's not about even making peace. It's literally about making love with it. And that is something that I know most people are not ready for. However, I'm here to lay seed.